So at the weekend, we were over in, start again. So on the weekend, we were over in Berlin and we had dinner with some friends. And one of my mates, he actually was talking about a potential of selling his business. And he was saying, if I got to X number as an exit, I'd, I'd not have to work for the rest of my life and I'd be able to get on to the next thing. So have some security and get on to the next thing. And I asked him, well, what is the next thing? He said, well, I'd probably start another business. So I thought this would be a great idea, our following conversation and then brainstorming this a little bit on my own after, to actually talk about 12 alternatives to selling your business. This may sound weird coming from a business broker talking about why not to sell your business, but I thought this was quite interesting. You may find it also interesting or surprising to learn that my background before becoming a business broker was actually buying and selling online assets myself. So I've been on both sides of the transaction. I've been a buyer and a seller and built from scratch and sold. So I have a different perspective when it comes to selling a business. And here's some questions that you can ask yourself, or some ideas that may actually make it more interesting for you when you go to think about selling a business. So what are some alternatives? So I'll shoot through, I've got 12 of them here. So the number one thing you could do, or one idea of what you could do, these aren't really in priority order, is actually grow your business. So what if you spent some time really doubling down and growing your business? That's one alternative to selling right now. The next is to spend more time optimizing for the sale. So a lot of time I spend with clients on the sell side is actually exit planning. And we're planning 6 to 24 months in advance of selling their business. And this can give you a lot of opportunity to create a better business, more valuable business when you go to sell. The other thing you can do, number 3, is just let the business run. So unfortunately, sometimes a business just isn't in the greatest spot to sell. Maybe you've got declining revenues, maybe your focus is elsewhere. A legitimate option in this case is to actually let the business run and just take the cash flow. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to sell every asset, especially if you're coming in from a position of weakness. We don't want to sell in a position of weakness. 4, you could get a capital partner on board. And this is a question I asked my friend. I said, well, what if you got a capital partner on board? So there's a couple ways to think about this. So first up, you could sell a percentage of your business, not the whole thing. Sell a percentage, either a minority or majority stake, and they'll pay you at, depending on the capital partner, they'll pay you at today's rate of the business. So maybe you can take some risks, take some capital off the table. So you've got some runway there for yourself. And also with that capital partner on board, they won't just want to share, they'll actually want to help you grow the business. So you could take some risk off the table and then get some capital to help you grow the business. You can find a strategic capital partner who not only has cash to bring in, but also some strategic advantage to help you grow the business. And then it's up to you. You could either continue running the business and have a much more profitable, longer term, larger business, or you could have a plan of 3 to 5 years of selling the business for a much higher amount because you've got that access to capital. And you've also got the baseline covered, right, with that initial exit. Number 5, you could use cash flows to build a more valuable, saleable brand. So in some cases, especially with FBA businesses that I talk to, there's a growing trend of businesses, more and more types of businesses becoming unsellable. And one of the main drivers of this is a couple of things. If you have one main product that's making all the income and you're making a lot of income, maybe you're making $1 million a year of one product and the rest of your products aren't really doing much. Well, you can sell that business, it won't sell for as much as if the product line was diversified. So you could take some of the cash flow that you're making, the profit that you're making from that one hero product, and really build out the product line around that target customer. That's the key. You really want to get in tight on that customer. The next thing you could do, if your brand is kind of scattered, it's white labeled, you're not really proprietary, different, you're just a Me Too product, and you have a lot of different variations, so not one target customer, you're targeting 100. You could take that profit that you're making. Some of these businesses are quite profitable as well. You could take the profit from that and focus on one of those areas. Which one is the most profitable? what is that target market? Can you build out more products for them? Can you make the product that you're already selling more proprietary? Can you add things to that product? Get in deep and get into the mind of that customer, and you'll create a more valuable brand. You may even have more fun running the business because it's actually you're more engaged with that customer. Next, number 6, you could look for acquisition opportunities. So often when I'm talking to people and when I speak from stage, I often talk about acquisitions, and everyone kind of, not everyone, but there's a group mind thing happening online where people think you have to sell, and I can brag to my friends about having a 7-figure exit, let's say, which is nice, but there's also a flip side to this. There's a lot of businesses for sale on the market right now. There's about 240 listings currently, and I mention all the time that currently we're tracking the whole market, and what we're seeing is only 30% of these listings are actually selling at the moment. So there's a lot of businesses where, depending on what your strategy is, acquisition could be a great opportunity for you. You could buy at a lower multiple, bundle it together with what you're offering, and maybe sell at a higher multiple down the track. You could find a listing, a business that's less optimized, you could add some value to, you could strategically acquire as well. So this is an opportunity. Number 7, you could hire an operations manager or CEO to run the day-to-day. So if you're looking at doing this, don't think you'll find a CEO or an ops manager to run everything. My friends and clients that have tried to do this all have the same feedback. You need to stay, as the business owner, on top of strategy and operating the business, but operating the business, you can definitely get someone in to say, here, do this, right? So that's another opportunity. Number 8, you can bring on partners to your business to make your weaknesses your strengths. So in an Amazon-related business, for instance, you could get not a capital partner, you could also get a capital partner, but you could get a partner who has some strengths and strategic opportunity outside of Amazon, bring them into the business and help you develop, say, your e-commerce store, another sales channel, or advertising platforms outside of Amazon to make your business more defensible. Number 9, you could form strategic alliances with other businesses. And the way to do this is to think who has your customer before, during, and after they interact with you. This is a killer strategy. You can write down 10 ideas of each. Who has your customer before, who has them during, and who has them after, and reach out to them. Every business pretty much in the world wants to grow. So if you can help another business grow and you can create a mutual alliance, that could be something interesting. Number 10, it's shocking, you may not believe it, but you can actually do nothing. No one says you have to do anything with your business. You don't have to sell, you don't have to grow, you don't have to do anything. You can just let it run. So that's an alternative to selling a business. 11, you could look at offline opportunities. So if you're in the e-commerce space, e-commerce worldwide, you might be surprised to learn, is only about 20% of all retail sales worldwide. So 80% of the revenue that you could be making comes outside offline. So who is selling to your customer offline, and how are they doing it? So go and look for that. Where are they selling them? How are they getting to the customer? And number 12, go and meet your customer where they are. So get offline, get off the beach, go talk to your customers where they are in the real world. So there you go, 12 alternatives to selling a business. I hope you found it interesting. If you want more from this, please shoot me an email if you have any questions, corin@thefbabroker.com, or go to our website, thefbabroker.com, and find out more. Thanks.